lights and the action is happening.
Welcome to
What are we doing now?
HotDawg Sports.
Why did you come into first off?
All right, let's
first
be real.
question I gotta ask. Okay,
All right, go ahead.
Why did you come into my trailer last Monday? Bro, we're gonna start a podcast,
Dude. I don't know, man. You know, I feel like we got a lot of hot takes we make on a daily basis about sports. You know, I feel like most of our arguments are actually kind of funny. Even though some people don't think we're being funny, we think it's actually kind of hilarious. So why not put our opinions out there to the public and see what they think? And you bit the hook pretty quick, dude. I mean, it wasn't like a hard bait for you. I mean,
your wife cooked tacos.
she did cook tacos. They were great.
I'm very pleased with dinner.
I mean, yeah, that was great. But dude, I don't know, man. We started broadcasting the football game. Felt like we were okay at that. Not bad, even though you replaced me for one of our friends this week.
You said you didn't want to do it.
Dude, I was joking, whatever. God.
You weren't joking.
Yeah, I wasn't joking.
I
actually can't. I actually can't do it. But no, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like we have a lot to talk about in sports. And I know we're not very polished at this, and we're not going to be very polished at this, but I do feel like we have a lot of funny takes, including Brandon. I feel like Brandon's got a lot of funny opinions he's going to bring in this, and
just a lot of hot takes.
He's got a lot of hot takes. But, I mean, with your knowledge of sports.
I think hot takes, I got a beef with hot takes. I think hot takes is somebody choosing to say something that's wrong.
What do you mean?
For a reaction, dude.
What do you mean?
A hot take is 100% like clickbait. You know that, right?
So give me an example.
The Browns with Jameis Winston are now a Super Bowl contender. Hot take, right?
That is a hot take.
I made a conscious decision to say something that is probably wrong because
they look good though. They beat the obvious, probably one of the top.
So what?
I'm not
what?
talking.
All right. So I'm actually kind of glad we're getting into this because, I mean, why wouldn't that be a cold take? Nobody agrees with that. Stupid.
What's a cold take?
That's not
Never
true.
heard of
a cold take.
Chat with two guys that think that Jameis Winston's going to lead them to the Super Bowl.
Well, they're
down
for
Browns fans.
That's a cold take. That's not a hot take.
Just saying.
It's not a take. That's somebody saying something inaccurate.
That's what I'm saying. So that
you're in the
wouldn't
same
even be a hot
division
take.
as the Ravens, bro.
But they just beat the Ravens on Sunday.
Right. They beat the Ravens one time out of a 17-game football season,
I would
bro.
argue the Ravens are probably the hottest team outside of the Chiefs. So
the Ravens are the best team in football.
They're not, though. They have a loss. The Chiefs are undefeated.
So, Brandon, give me an example of your hot take right now. I mean, outside the Jameis Winston, what's an example of a hot take for you? What is something we stand on when we say a hot take?
I don't know. I think that hot take he said about Jameis is a pretty accurate hot take. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I mean, I would say a hot take is maybe like Vanderbilt's one of the best teams in the SEC. Yeah, they pulled some upsets, but I mean, they're still, that's not a hot take. But I don't know. You put me on the spot. I wasn't ready for that
cold
one.
take as well.
Not a hot take right there, Vandy. The shipmen are back. Okay, I'll give you a hot take. ESPN analyst, or the analysis predictor on ESPN has picked Ole Miss to beat Georgia.
They also picked Texas to beat Georgia, and look what happened.
Right, but everybody picked Texas to beat Georgia.
Look, let's be real. Let's think about it. Kirby Smart just called all of them out on ESPN. He went right for the jugular. He went right for Kirk Herbstreit's dog on TV.
I just want to know, like, what data they're using to generate that, because that's not like somebody like made that decision to show the little. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you go to the game and you scroll down, it's got like the little circle, and then like whichever team's color is more and it has a percent. That's who they're like predicting. They're using data to figure that out, right? And so, like, what data are they pulling from? Because it's definitely not like there's no AI bot watching the games and saying they think Ole Miss is a better football team.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this.
After we beat Texas, they still gave us like the 4th or 5th best odds to win the SEC. They put Tennessee and Ole Miss above us. I mean, how? We still got to play.
It's the AI. Yeah, dude.
I'm not going to complain.
I don't. That's why I hate the movie
I love being the
iRobot.
underdog.
You keep giving Kirby Smart fuel. Good luck, because that fire is just going to keep burning. So obviously, to all our listeners, this is kind of how we spiral out of control with this kind of stuff. If you can't tell, we're Georgia fans, right? Hence the dog part. But something we do stand on is all things sports, right? So baseball, football, basketball, underwater basket weaving. Brandon's probably the biggest UFC guy. He loves them. How about Max Holloway?
He got rocked, man.
What happened to that? What happened to that unforgettable chin?
Well,
got put to sleep.
Ilya Topuria is the next biggest thing in the UFC. Knocked out Volkanovski and Holloway in back-to-back fights. Nobody's doing it like him, giving Fighter of the Year.
He's pound for pound #1 right now, probably. I can't.
It's tough between him and Alex Pereira on who's Fighter of the Year.
Yeah.
But when you knock out two legends like that who have never been finished
Well,
like
Toporia's got to be Fighter of the Year because he's new.
Yep.
Came on the scene.
Knocked them both out in the first round in like less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm glad you did bring up the Georgia not being favored against Ole Miss and Texas still being picked to win the SEC.
Texas has still got to play Texas A&M at Texas A&M. That's
Dude,
gonna be a tough game for them.
Vanderbilt's they're lucky. Vanderbilt let them slide.
Oh, yeah.
Like Vanderbilt had them beat.
Game.
Yeah. I mean, but what are y'all thinking about the? Before we get into football, what do you think about the World Series right now?
Bro, I ain't watched.
Now the score is 2-1 in Game 4. Dodgers. It doesn't matter if the Yankees win tonight; they win the next. Dodgers aren't losing the World Series. That is over. We were up at the casino this weekend and watched it. When they got up 2-0, and that series was over.
Yeah.
They have too much offensive firepower, and the relief pitching they have is too good for the Yankees to come back from this 3-0 deficit. Way too good.
They got depth, man. They got depth, and Aaron Judge hasn't exactly been hot at the moment.
Aaron Judge
He's
is the best player ever in the regular season, but when it turns postseason, that dude falls off the face of the earth. Happens every year for someone to be so good.
He is so good too. He is really good. And you know what pisses me off is I can't stand his hitting coach. His hitting coach is so I don't understand. Like, I mean, the guy himself seems like a good dude, but the way he teaches hitting for me is the complete opposite from guys like Tim Hires, Chipper Jones, all these hitters I've discussed like hitting mechanics with. Aaron Judge's coach talks about something completely different. It's a complete different philosophy. And then kids try to resemble what Judge is doing. Newsflash, Aaron Judge is how big?
I think he's 6'8". I
heard he's pretty big.
6'7", 280 pounds?
Yeah.
Human beings aren't made to be that big. Things he does differently, there's probably a reason, right?
Okay.
He's not made at the average size of a baseball player. He's like he's taught the whole, he's pivoting and he's dropping the barrel. Dude, you have a small guy try to drop that backside, that barrel's out of the zone. He's not hitting the ball. Sorry, I'm geeking out on baseball swing right now. But to me though, like guys like that are just freak athletes, and they're just built different. Like they're not going to do the things that I would do or that somebody else would do, right? Like Mookie Betts is going to do something completely different than Aaron Judge. I mean, look at the size difference.
Same thing with Ohtani.
Same thing, and this is the same thing in any sport. Same thing in golf, right? This is the same. This is just we're all different.
Baseball sucks when the Braves aren't in it anymore, man.
It's hard to be motivated.
I haven't watched a lick of baseball since the Braves got knocked out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like I'm not as much of a baseball fan as I am a Braves fan.
Yeah,
I mean I've realized that these past few years. Being a Braves fan right now is a lot like being a Georgia football fan. It's like we had our breakthrough year, and now we're just like every year sucks if we can't get back.
Yeah, they did a good job fighting with all the adversity they went through this year.
All the injuries they had for them to make the playoffs. Still a slight win.
Right.
Anthopoulos, I don't care what anybody says, he's the best GM in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the moves that he's made, even outside of this year. I mean, Spencer Strider, right? I mean, that deal alone is, a testament to a weird dude out of freaking Clemson that, and he and does weird things to warm up and get stronger, and then Buddy, is the best pitcher in baseball.
Oh yeah.
Who sees that? Picking up Jorge Soler when we won the World Series, or Rosario, or like putting Arcia at shortstop.
Could you almost say though his pattern can kind of be too predictable? I mean, he did the same thing multiple times. He picked up Soler after dropping him. He's done it to Duvall like 3 times. He drops Duvall, picks him up. Drops Duvall, picks him up.
I think that's a testament to like dudes knowing your organization is important, right? I mean, you're a hitting guy, right? Is it easier to work with a new client or to work with a kid that you've worked with?
Somebody familiar with.
Right? I mean, that might be part of it. Also, those dudes are the dudes that were available that you could afford when you needed somebody there.
This is true.
I think the Braves are the most well-managed team in baseball.
We definitely stay present. We definitely
'Cause,
stay in the moment.
dude, baseball is so broken. I don't care what anybody says. Baseball is so broken. Like, you know why the Yankees and the Dodgers are as good as they are? Because
Spending money.
they spend more money than
They spend
anybody.
so much money.
Like, that's baseball's broken.
Credit
And
card
until
teams.
they figure out,
Credit card teams.
exactly, credit until they figure
700
out
million
how to
for one
police
player.
that, baseball's gonna suck until they can figure out how to police that.
It scares me too, dude. The Yankees, you know how deep their farm system is? They got guys like Jason Dominguez,
No.
who's like the next Mickey Mantle in the farm system.
Try doing that in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You know how
It's
well run the Baltimore Orioles are? They can't go. They lose great players. They can't keep those dudes, and yet they somehow over the past 3 or 4 years have been relevant.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they've done a great job.
And and Holiday Son will play for a different team in 5 years because
he's gonna get bought out.
Everybody else's pockets are deeper.
For
It's
sure.
just the reality of baseball right now, dude. And until they figure it out, baseball's not going to be as fun as it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to veer off of. I want to talk college football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking of being predictable, who is the most predictable
Mike.
college football coach in the country? We know him well. Think of it. Mike Bobo.
Oh,
The most
here we
predictable.
go.
We're gonna get it.
This
right
is
into
the
it.
this is the
He is the
hottest.
most
This is a hot take.
This is not a hot take.
No, this is hot take because there's going to be heat coming through
Yeah.
this conversation.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bo
I
has
think that's
seen
the
it.
definition of a hot
Yeah.
take, by the way.
Bo has seen it in person. Me and him, we pretty much watch every Georgia game together.
Yep.
We can sit right here, and I can pretty much say the exact play Mike Bobo's about to run all the time. I'm not getting paid millions of dollars and have all this football knowledge like these Division I coaches. If I know what he's about to do, they have to know what he's about to do.
Dive in, Jesse. I know you have something you want to say.
Yes.
Dude,
Dive in.
No, dude.
No, take off.
First
Let's
off,
hear it.
I could beat Mike Bobo in NCAA.
No,
look, I am convinced. Hey, look, dude.
Bro,
we went into
you
a little
guys
bit. I don't have a
are
huge
crazy
football background, okay, but I know what you should and what you probably shouldn't do in that moment, okay. And there's things that we do as a team that are frustrating, and that I don't think play into our strengths, you know. And like, I don't know, I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I watched the football game. I see him go against Texas, third quarter. You go empty set. Why do we not have a running back in the backfield? It's 1st and 10. Dude, guess what? Guess what Texas is going to do if you don't have a running back in the backfield? They're either going to send everybody or they're going to drop 7 into coverage. Yeah. And it got that much more difficult. Either way, you took away any threat of a run.
The funniest thing I read, actually one of my buddies sent it to me. He said, I love when they can't stop the run and we throw the ball 6 times in a row.
Oh, yeah.
That's been Georgia football all year. For some reason, we throw it on first down.
And then run it the next 2.
That never works. That never works, man. Yeah, and so you end up behind the sticks. And why is Carson Beck throwing for over 40 times a game? Like, in what world do you have to do? I mean, Dylan Gabriel up at Oregon doesn't even throw the ball 40 freaking times a game.
I think the one reason he did that in the Mississippi State game is because if you look at Texas, Texas is known for their offensive and defensive line. They probably have a top 5 in both of those categories in the country. And so with that being said, Mississippi State, like if you look at the first half of the Mississippi State game, we could not do it. Best defense we played all year until we got to Texas and everything. And they threw the ball all over the place. I think we did that because Texas's weakness is their secondary. If you notice that, we didn't run the ball that much in the Mississippi State game. He threw it a lot. And I think that's to get them ready to go in there and try to take on those weaker defense backs that Texas had.
I could definitely
You're not
see
going to go into – which ETN had a heck of a game.
Dude's a stud.
Which, I mean, he had the game of his
stud.
life, and he scored 3 rushing touchdowns.
dude's a
You
stud.
can't go in there and expect to just be able to run it all
Run
over
the ball down
Texas.
the
You
throat,
got to be
right.
able to throw it and pick them apart.
Yeah. I mean, we see that through every college football team, right? You got to have balance. You got to be able to throw the ball and run the ball. And kind of like to your point, you throw the ball 50 times, but you got guys like ETN who are legit. You got guys like Nate Frazier who could probably be as a freshman starting on most teams. I know that's your guy.
Yeah,
you're a big
Nate
Frazier
Frazier's-
guy, and
Nate
he is
Frazier's-
look.
he is probably the next big back coming through Georgia.
Yeah. 2 things. First thing, okay. Georgia, when we played Mississippi State, all right. Mississippi State is the closest thing to a scrimmage you're going to get at all this year, okay? That's why Georgia did not run the ball, because you don't want to bang your guys up, right? Like, don't bang up your backs. Don't bang up your offensive line by running the ball. It's like a scrimmage. Hey, where's the play call? Let's figure out some schemes, some stuff that we could use going in here. Let our quarterback throw the ball as many times as he can throw the ball. I think they did the same thing on defense. I don't think Kirby Smart gave one crap about the score. I genuinely don't. I mean, he didn't. Nope, they didn't coach that game like they cared about the score. They didn't put our dudes in situations to keep them safe. They put our dudes in situations to be uncomfortable. And I genuinely think that was because you're playing Texas next week, right? You're playing a Mississippi State team. They can't match you. If you get down to Mississippi State, where you're turn around, you're going to hand the ball off. You're going to get back control of the game. I mean, that game was coached in a sense of like, we're going to see what we can get away with, right? On defense, we're going to see what we can dial up or what we can figure out. We're going to see if our dudes can be on an island, and you figured out a lot. And I don't think that there's any. I think that there's a reason that you play that Mississippi State game and it looked the way it does, and then you go and play that Texas game and it looked as clean as it does.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you figured something out.
It was different.
That was done deliberately. I genuinely think that was done deliberately.
It was a different defensive
look.
Kirby Smart is a genius of not
he's
putting stuff out there that he doesn't have to.
He's the best coach in college football.
There's a reason. Like, if you watch all of our defense has not looked that good all year, except maybe the Clemson game. We looked great against Clemson, but just the plays he was running, the way everybody. That is the most flawless defensive game.
It was fun.
I think I've seen in a while.
It was like
Georgia. It was crazy.
It was like a Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, N'Kobe Dean feel to the game. Like, I was excited.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was almost like, I hope Beck throws a pick because I want our defense back out there. Give me more of this defense. They're great.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like,
picks are
compared to years past, our defense outside of Ingram Dawkins has stepped up this year, but we don't. And Michael's been injured.
And Jalen.
We don't have those guys that are freaking.
Hey, Warren Branson stepped up against Texas. He had a great game against Texas. He clogged the hole up. Right.
We don't have that N'Kobe Dean.
Right. We don't have that first round.
We're still making it work. Jalen Walker's.
Other than Michael and Jalen.
Jalen Walker's the best defensive player in the country.
You're saying we don't have that interior
we
defensive
just don't
lineman.
Have that interior defensive lineman
that can shut it down with two guys on them.
You just sent Jalen Carter to the Eagles and then Jordan Davis. Those are two generational talents right there, first round picks. And then Wyatt, what was this? Devontae Wyatt at the Packers, first round pick. Quay Walker, first round pick. N'Kobe Dean, I think he was a second round pick.
Yeah, early second or like late first, something like that.
If you're a high school kid and you are a good defensive player, how you don't go to the University of Georgia to get developed by Kirby Smart and Glenn
They are good at
Schumann
developing.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody develops kids like Kirby Smart. He is the best developer.
Yeah,
by far.
I agree.
Dude, college football is so good right now. I don't care what anybody says. Like, the NIL, I don't care what any of these old heads say, man. Like, if you hate the NIL era, dude, retire. Like, sell your TV.
Yeah.
It's just
making worse teams better.
Well, it
makes it competitive.
Why can Vanderbilt beat Bama? Because of NIL. Let's be honest, right?
UNLV also.
Yeah, but we've seen like there's definitely downsides to it, but I think a good side to it is what we've seen this year. Like Oregon's beating Ohio State. Bama's losing to Vandy. Georgia's losing to Bama. Right, like anybody can lose now because these teams, their depth is now a thing.
Right.
For a lot of these teams that didn't have that before.
Right.
And dude, I'm telling you, the NIL era is the GOAT.
NIL though is imagine being Ohio State spending $20 million.
Well, that's going to be.
And you still lose.
I hate it for them, but somebody had to do it. Like there was going to be a team that, opened up the checkbook to a lot of these kids, and it didn't work. And I think
theirs has a lot to do with coaching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think you can go get is first off, what you're doing is you're paying for high schoolers. Okay, these aren't pros, man. Like when you're the Jets and you trade for Devontae Adams, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right. You know what you're getting. You don't know that in college football. No. So it's as much a gamble for these programs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more a gamble for these programs than for kids because these days kids get drafted out of JUCO, out of Division II. Like you can go be a stud wherever you want, and as long as you're putting up numbers and the tape looks good, you're going to end up on an NFL team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more of a gamble for these universities because they're opening up the checkbook and they're relying on these kids to be that 5-star that they recruited. But that's where having good coaching and having a good program, is so instrumental.
Yeah,
The world
I
of
agree.
difference going from high school where you're playing just these average Joes. I mean, you might be a stud standout in high school, and you could be playing good competition, but you have to go from that to playing SEC football where you're playing the best of the best every week, and that's a big jump. And some of these kids can't do it.
So let me ask you this. All right, here's something, some food for thought. If I'm a 5-star, okay, and my dream school is Georgia, right? As a freshman, am I going to start right away at Georgia? Most likely
Probably
not.
not.
Probably not, unless your name is Malachi Starks, KJ Bolden, and they needed some help, right? Guys like Justin Williams, all these big 5-star names that come out, they're not starting. With this transfer and this money stuff, could it almost be more beneficial to go to a team right away if you know you're going to start and then play that year and then transfer to Georgia?
Oh yeah,
But
look at Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, but think about the
So do you think
developmental side of
do you think
things.
Raiola will transfer from Nebraska?
I don't know if he will.
With his family lineage, he's not like
Dude, no, none of that stuff matters. I'm telling you, like I get what you're saying.
I agree with Brandon on this.
I don't. I don't.
I think that bloodline runs deeper in Nebraska than him. Raiola is not going to leave, and I think
I'm not saying he's going to leave, but I'm saying if Ohio State offered that kid $5 million to come be the starting quarterback for Ohio State, and he didn't go because of family lineage.
Yeah, Nebraska's probably matching.
If I was his dad, they might be right.
I think they had to.
They might be, but I'm saying money talks. You can go wherever the most money is, and Nebraska's just got to open up a checkbook. They've got to keep that kid around. But if you're right, you're right.
Pay players regardless. Like if I'm a 5-star player and I could go and I'm at Georgia, money aside, you've already got your money. If you don't start, who cares? Obviously, you want to get in there and start. You're going to get the best development. You're going to get the best practice reps because you are going against the other best of the best. And you could go to like a.
So what I'm
let's
saying.
Let's just say you go to like a Texas or not a Tech. That's a horrible example. Let's say you go to like South Carolina, something like that. That's a small school, but you start all the time. But you're not getting the developmental stuff that you would at Georgia.
Correct.
And
so
I think that counts for a lot.
I agree, but you can also tell like Kirby Smart discusses like what's the best teacher experience, right? And that's why he's so big at like going to get guys in the portal that have experience and character that can fill into his position, because those are guys that right away can come in and play because they have experience of playing. You know, now especially if you can transfer in conference, you go after another guy that plays in the SEC that has SEC experience that could go like say if I'm a 5-star quarterback, right? I'm going to go play at South Carolina because I know right away as soon as I get there, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to play. I'm going to get the experience. I'm going to play against these guys that Georgia's going to play against, right? And I'm going to go out there, I'm going to play, I'm going to ball out, and then after that year, I transfer to somewhere like Georgia. Well, now I can walk into Georgia and start after having a year of already playing. Kirby already understands that I've been a starter, and then now I get the development from Georgia. So I'm trying to say like it almost brings away like the recruiting the 5-stars, because who cares where you go right away if you can transfer in to Georgia later?
Dude, none of it matters. None of that. Yeah, like where you start doesn't matter. But and all scholarship offers don't matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
they don't.
NLI, the National Letter of Intent.
Yeah, they're taking it away, right?
It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist.
And it's pretty much all that is that coach saying, "Hey, like, bro, if you want to come here, I got a spot for you right now." Right? But we've seen it. Like, that may not be there tomorrow because it's all verbal offers. Like, none of it's like, until that kid sets foot on campus and enrolls, none of it matters. Wasn't Caleb Downs on campus at UGA?
Caleb Downs.
I'm saying, dude, none of that stuff matters.
We had Downs.
And kids don't go play for the program. Like, kids don't do that. They're gonna play for the coach.
Yeah,
that's who they're playing for.
Yeah.
I'd hate to know he chose Ryan Day over Kirby Smart because Ryan Day can't win a big game to save his life.
Yeah. Georgia doesn't pay players like that.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't know. Bex Lambo might disagree.
Yeah,
I guarantee that Georgia was not throwing as much as a lot of other programs to Caleb. Now, I wouldn't know the details. I might be wrong, but
he obviously got outbid.
Yeah,
we obviously got outbid for Caleb Downs.
Also, though, go look at KJ Bolden's stats and Caleb Downs' stats right now.
KJ Bolden's that man.
And you tell me whose stats look better.
Exactly, dude. And another guy that's back healthy and playing, Aguero.
He's out the first half of the next game.
I know, but that hit was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is every
teacher kids how to tackle.
Every rec football coach was salivating at the mouth over that hit.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
hit
man,
was
like,
just
that was a good
head
hit.
on the chest, knocking him out. Man, I was.
Yeah, I wasn't mad.
Aguero
about
is
that.
he's a fun player.
On that note, I mean, you got two of your starting defensive backs out this week going into Florida.
Okay, yeah. Talk about who's okay. So
I think the game's going to
let's
be
talk about this
closer
game.
than people expect up until halftime.
Okay, what do you mean? What do you think?
Well, you got your two studs. I mean, Dan Jackson arguably is up there for being like our first or second best defensive player this year.
Right.
I mean, the way he flies down from the secondary and run support and all, I mean, he is insane.
Yeah.
You're without him.
Yep. Aguero.
You're without Aguero.
Yep. Almost Bolden. They almost got Bolden on
pretty
target.
much, they almost got KJ.
They almost did. Freaking refs.
You got DJ Lagway coming in. He's super athletic. I still think we are going to destroy Florida one
Florida's
way or
trending.
the other. But Florida's trending upward right now.
And
they're catching heat.
Of course, we're going to play them when they're trending.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not worried because Billy Napier sucks.
There's no Billy cannot be.
Hey,
I mean,
no shot.
DJ Lagway, stud. He won't be there next year.
That could be your transfer, Jesse.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
That could be your transfer.
I do think it's a trap game. I do. I think it's. I mean, bro, like you're missing two key people on the back end, right? Like you are dudes that are super banged up. Are you going to play them a lot, knowing you've got Tennessee and Ole Miss right around the corner? You know, so you might see some hesitancy to start those dudes with the play calling situation. I'm not convinced we'll ever score more than 40 points a game, you know?
But what Georgia doesn't need to do is this week is look forward to next week. Ole Miss at Ole Miss. That's going to be a big game. You can't take Florida for granted.
Yeah, don't look past Florida. You got to.
Well, I'm also
beat the brakes off.
I'm not worried about Ole Miss because Joey Freshwater also sucks. If you don't know who Joey Freshwater is, Google it. Yeah. See, no deep takes only.
I said at the beginning of the year that I think Ole Miss would be one of our toughest games.
Yeah, for sure.
Of the way that they will throw the ball nonstop, and Lane Kiffin is probably the most aggressive.
He's smart.
Play caller and go for it wherever in college football.
Who do you think is a better play caller? Ole Miss is Lane Kiffin, or Steve Sarkisian at Texas?
Sarkisian's
bro. Steve Sarkisian pulled Quinn Ewers to put in a freshman quarterback. You just had 2 games. Hold on. That was, you know why he did that, and I was like, game over. Game over. Yeah. You just showed your hand. You had 2 games to evaluate Arch Manning to see if Arch Manning was the guy. Okay? If you did not leave after those 2 games thinking that Arch Manning was your definitive guy, he should have never been in that ball game unless Quinn Ewers was hurt. That was the dumbest thing you could have done. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. That's like the oldest truth in football right there, dude. When he put Arch Manning in there, I was like, boom, he just ruined 2 quarterbacks.
If you look at the way that Ole Miss played us last year, I went to the game. I mean, it was close to, I think it was 21-21 or something at halftime, and then we just pulled away. Lane Kiffin has a ton of secrets. I think Lane Kiffin's up there.
So you say Kiffin over Sarkisian?
I really would. That's a hot take. Probably is taking Kiffin over Sarkisian.
So I love that we let off with the hot take question, and then I think we're starting to figure out what hot takes are. I think a hot take is something that we can both argue in a heated manner, and make a good point for either side. I think you can have a good point for either side, and it can be very very hot like. And I think this is another good hot take: Sarkisian or Kiffin.
It all boils down to who do you think leaves first?
I think that Ole Miss has better wide receivers. What's that wide receiver? Trey Harris, is that his name?
Yeah, but he's been hurt. I don't know if he's playing.
But he's
better than Isaiah Bond.
Isaiah Bond, but what did Isaiah Bond do against Georgia? Nothing.
I don't think. Yeah, dude, that was.
But he didn't do much.
No, he's not. Dude.
No,
but Jackson, what always has seemed to hurt Georgia, and is it definitely true against Bama? Is a running quarterback.
Yeah, we stopped that in the second half.
We did, but Jalen.
We blocked that up. But yes.
What's his name? Milroe did it against us the first half. We made our. But Jackson Dart is not afraid to put his head down and run.
He can move, man.
Jackson Dart sucks.
Disagree.
Disagree.
That's
a hot take.
No, that's a dumb take. That's a dumb take. Jackson Dart is not.
Dude, just give it 4 years. You can buy insurance from him since you love him so much.
My wife sells insurance.
So if his point is that Jackson Dart sucks, he's 3rd in the country in passing yards right now.
Yeah, he's good.
Only behind Cam Ward, and this is crazy. The person leading the nation in passing yards is from the University of North Texas.
Really?
He is ahead of Cam Ward by 140 yards.
What? No, where's Dylan Gabriel?
Stats are for losers.
I'm just arguing your point here, bud. And
Dude,
also
Carson Beck played Bama. Carson Beck played Kentucky at Kentucky.
Trey Harris, receiver Ole Miss, second most receiving yards in the country, and he's been out like a week or two. I mean,
Trey Harris doesn't suck. Like, I will give you, Trey Harris is a good football player.
Jackson Dart's a good football player.
Jackson Dart's good.
Jackson Dart's a great quarterback. Dude's got a killer of an arm.
Our boy from EA
Right.
leads the country in tackles. That Dolick from Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, Dolik. Yeah, he's good.
Dude, I'm not worried one bit about
The next Luke Kuechly.
We'll go to the Grove. Georgia, look,
Grove's awesome.
Georgia
Grove's
can run the ball
awesome.
on absolutely anybody. Like,
Look
I don't
what
care
Kendall
wh-
Milton did to Ole Miss last year.
I don't like.
Dude,
Bruh.
give ETN the ball.
You want to beat Ole Miss? Run the ball.
Run the ball.
Your time of possession
Give it
needs to
ETN.
be twice as much as theirs.
Give the
It's
ball
that
to
simple.
ETN.
Obviously, Ole Miss will win a football game if they have the ball more than you have the ball. So just figure out a way to keep the ball more. That's like that's the easiest way to beat those fools. Make them play defense because they can't.
They can't do it.
They can't.
Kendall Milton ran for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah,
against
we
them last
torched them.
year.
We torched. Dude, and if
Edwards
anything,
had 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. also.
anybody that has to come across Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs after watching that game against Texas is now seeing the physicality come out. They have pissed off King Smart. He's got the boys right. Dude, we just went to Texas and whipped Texas at Texas
Here's the
at
best
night
point
in the
about
prime
that
time.
game.
That defense was old school, mean football.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody on this schedule, you're not beating us at the line of scrimmage anymore. At the beginning, we definitely had some questions.
Mm-hmm.
If those questions weren't answered against Texas, I don't know. I can't help you.
I heard this dude on a podcast say this point, and I think it's probably the best point I've heard about that Georgia-Texas game. Carson Beck probably played a D or F game. Beck did not
F.
play good against Texas,
F.
and we beat him by 15. If Beck even
Double
plays
points.
like a B-plus game against Texas,
It's not even a ball
we
game.
would have blown them out of the water.
I agree.
We wouldn't have even been close.
I blame the Cavender twins.
you think Hannah's in his head?
Hannah.
Well, is it Hannah? Is that Beck's girlfriend?
Yeah.
All right. I'll just kindly ask, break up with him, okay? He goes on the revenge tour.
Yeah, I was about to say the revenge tour is a mean thing.
You know, then you
After
can
we win our
get
national
engaged on the field
Yeah.
of the national championship to your national championship MVP fiance. I don't care.
Who would now
Just-
be a first round pick again?
Look, Cavender twin, you've been a Georgia Bulldog football fan for like 6 months, okay? We were like 25 years into this.
Yeah.
Like, give us,
Don't ruin it for the rest of us, all right? And you can't blame Beck for the full issue. Now, obviously, you bring up Bobo and Beck, and then Kirby makes a good point. We had how many drops against Texas?
We've got over 200
It's
yards
hard.
of drops.
It's hard. It is so hard to be a quarterback with these looks at Texas. Texas has a good defense, and they're throwing you looks,
Mid.
and they're not catching the ball.
Yeah.
Now you're putting extra
Your
pressure.
one job, dude.
Yeah, catch the ball.
Yeah.
Now you have extra pressure.
Receive the ball.
Dude, exactly. Dude, it's almost like equivalent to golf. If you 3-putt, what happens to the rest of your game? You tense up.
Yeah.
Everything else becomes tight, and it trickles down. If you're not catching the ball, you start making stupid decisions. You're in panic mode. You're now behind the sticks, trying to work forward. You're causing issues.
You overcompensate for something that doesn't need to be compensated
Correct.
for. That's what it is.
Correct.
You do too much. That's honestly probably why Delp's not getting as many looks.
I read an article one day this week that said that Beck just has like zero confidence in him. That could be wrong. I mean,
In Delp?
Yes, I saw the same
because
thing.
he's had so many drops.
Yeah.
Here's my
That's
thing.
why
After the year he had last year and what he did against Bama, feed Dylan Bell the football.
Yeah, Bell's a good one.
No, you know who Georgia's best pass catcher is?
Freak.
Lawson Lucky.
Lawson Lucky. I stand on that, bro.
You're a lucky guy.
So, dude, how
He's-
could you
he's
not be?
good.
I mean,
Hey,
kid's
Lucky
19 years
dropped
old.
a touchdown
He had-
against Texas.
He had a
dropped
drop. He had a drop that turned into a pick. In the red zone.
Go back and
That's a
watch
high
that
ball,
tape
but he
though.
still
Like,
caught it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, asking any dude to come down with that ball right there is a tough ass.
Brock
Like,
Bowers
you don't
would've.
throw.
Bowers would've.
Bowers would have, but bro, you can't compare.
Yeah, nobody can be Bowers, man. That dude is
No.
killing it in the NFL.
Look.
Man, he's killing it.
You know what else we don't have this year? Lad McConkey. Look
Yeah,
what he's doing
wow.
in the
He
NFL
just-
right
he
now.
just put
Those
on-
are two generational
Yeah.
talents that you have to replace, and nobody's gonna fill those shoes.
This is true.
Yeah, Lad just had a day on
Two
Sunday,
tutties.
didn't he?
Who else can we go to? Aaron Smith, if he can.
Lovett's been
Aaron Smith's dropping the ball.
Aaron Smith drops the ball, but my gosh, he's so fast. He gets open. I love it. Yeah, what's Lovett been doing? I thought Lovett was going to be our
dude. Go
big
back
guy.
and get Rah-Rah. Rah-Rah's probably still available.
Hey, here's an idea. Anthony
Evans,
man.
Anthony Evans is
So
dude.
fast.
He's a playmaker with
He's
the
a
ball in his
playmaker.
hand,
Give him the
and
ball.
he's dude. And I remember the G-Day game, man. Gunnar Stockton threw him that ball up to start the game, and he mossed whoever was corner. I think it was like Everett or something. I don't know who it was, but he mossed him, dude.
Oh, imagine that.
To bring back Rah-Rah,
Deep
you
ball
might
on
as well
Everett.
bring
Ain't
back-
seen that one before.
You might as well bring back Colby Young too if you want to bring back Rah-Rah, Jesse.
Yeah,
It was a joke, dude.
Yeah,
It was a
not
joke.
good. Not a
Because
good joke.
Our football team, like half of them are criminals, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you will get on X, that's what they say.
They love playing Fast and Furious.
All right. Well, I think we need to start trying to wrap this thing up for our first episode. I think this has been good. This has been a good banter of discussing sports. People got to know who we are a little bit. Is there anything you guys would like to leave the viewers or whoever's watching with some questions, or Brandon, is there some knowledge you would like to drop for the games coming up this week? Is there any games that you're highlighting?
And no, let's do this. Let's do
The
this.
game of the week:
I want to hear what Jesse has to say
Ohio
about this.
State
Hold on.
and Penn State.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah, easily.
You read out, just pull up the FBS 25, right?
Right.
Matchups this week.
Yeah.
Call them out. We'll all say who we think.
I'm down with
I
that.
think that's a good
All
way
right.
to end
I
it.
think it's a great way to end it, man. This is some.
Well,
This is some.
This is easy
all right,
here.
nice.
Boise State and San Diego State. Genty had not a good game.
Aztecs,
UNLV.
baby. Give me Aztecs. But no, I'm just kidding.
Boise State.
Give me the Northern
Boise.
Mormons of Boise State.
Yeah, Boise State.
Yeah.
Boise State.
I feel like we don't even need to answer this, but Georgia, Florida.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Bozo Billy's about to get
Go freaking dogs.
Billy Napier's trash.
All right, game of the week right here: Ohio State and Penn State.
Ohio State.
I'm torn on this one. The spread's 4, and I think I'd probably take Penn State plus the points.
Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football.
No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's going to be. I think that
Best
game
what?
screams.
Best player in college football is Jeremiah Smith.
I think that game screams under.
Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, bull freaking crap.
Bull
bro.
crap. Nothing.
Okay, hold on.
Let's
Hold
put
on.
stats.
I don't care about the stats. Stats are for losers. Okay? Watch football. If Ryan Williams is not running in a straight line as far as he can, does he make a spectacular catch?
Yes.
Jeremiah Smith does. No, he freaking doesn't,
Look
dude.
what he did against
Jeremiah.
Dude,
Georgia
they
with
targeted.
3 defenders
Oh
on.
my! No, look,
Yes.
dude. Listen. Okay, listen.
I am.
Against South Carolina, they targeted Ryan Williams over 20 times. Okay, over 20 times.
It's a testament to how good he is.
Jeremiah Smith, he does it all. Comes across the middle, runs the out routes. They throw screens to him. He
Travis
runs
Hunter's
seams.
better than Jeremiah Smith.
No, wrong.
Yes.
No, wrong. Travis Hunter's a better corner.
Hey,
than
to be
Jeremiah
honest,
Smith.
though, I'm going to take Will Howard on a short ball versus Milroe. Milroe's just going to throw as far as he can,
Just saying, well, the
It's a
quarter.
scheme.
All right. So
Well,
who's
Howard
your
sucks
pick
too,
for-
though.
Who's your pick?
For what's the game?
Ohio State and Penn State.
Who did
It's
y'all-
at Penn State.
I wanna-
12 o'clock game.
It's at Penn State. Noon game. Who'd you pick?
Ohio State.
Who'd
I
you
think
pick?
Ohio State wins by field goal.
I'm going to go Ohio State by double digits.
Yeah, dude. Penn State's
Penn
trash.
State sucks.
Yeah, James Franklin, who?
Penn State
Bet
has
you,
been
bet you wish you were still at
scre-
Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
James
yeah,
Franklin.
they've been scraping by. They're about
Yeah,
to
but they
get
suck, dude.
rocked. And you know what? If Penn State beats Ohio State, I will be the first to celebrate.
Yep.
But no, Ohio State's about to
I
beat
ain't
the
praying
brakes
on
off.
nobody's downfall.
Next game, Duke, Miami. Miami. Easy.
Ooh,
Duke, Miami. Ooh, Duke.
Miami.
Dude, it's a 22-point spread. There's
Where's it
not a
at?
It's at Miami. There's not a
Yeah, what was that
chance.
spread for Vanderbilt and
Bro.
Bama?
Give me the Blue Devils.
No, not happening.
Manny, what's his name? Manny Ramirez.
Manny Diaz.
Manny Diaz.
Manny Ramirez.
Who's the other guy? David Ortiz?
Manny Ramirez.
What's the game? Sorry. What?
Duke and Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
No, give me Duke.
All right.
Cam Ward.
Give me Duke.
Whatever.
Trap
This is
game,
a
dude.
game to take the underdog plus the points. Arkansas and Ole Miss. Arkansas is an underrated team. Great quarterback. Not great, but he's good.
They have a good
Crazy.
running back.
Crazy.
And a good running back.
Yeah, he's
I think
fast.
I think you take Arkansas on the points, but Ole Miss probably wins. But Arkansas.
Give me Arkansas simply because Sam Pittman is a DGD.
Ole Miss.
Yep.
Jackson Dart.
Air Force and Army. Army
By
Army
50.
is a pick to be in the 12
I-
playoffs.
Listen to this. Army. That freaking quarterback can serve my country anytime. I'll put that dude on the front line and give him a football, and he alone can go into any country and run it, dude.
Yep.
That dude is a. What's his stat line? He's like only a couple hundred yards behind Genty.
He has 909 yards and 19 touchdowns.
He has more touchdowns.
More touchdowns than Genty.
He has 629 yards passing and 7 touchdowns.
Is this guy not on the Heisman list?
No, I saw a crazy stat, and it was like
his passing yards are mid, but
it was
passing yards are mid, but his rushing yards are incredible.
Incredible. Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry.
He has more touchdowns than a certain team. Maybe like Florida State. He has more touchdowns himself than Florida State has.
Scored a touchdown this year, though.
Not a lot of them.
Dale Hogan, shout out to you.
Shout out Dale Hogan. 1-6.
Hey, remember when DJ Uyunglele was on those
Supposedly
Dr. Pepper commercials?
Yeah.
What a waste of money.
We got is Minnesota at Illinois.
Give me Illinois.
Illinois.
This is in Oregon and Michigan. Michigan's backup quarterback has been he's done with football forever.
Yeah, retired.
Oh, man.
Jake Littell or something. What was his name?
Orgy is going to have to be the quarterback, and Alex Orgy could
I'm gonna
not
pray for
throw
that guy.
the football through a freaking 20-foot wide door.
You said Michigan and Oregon?
Cool name, though.
Oregon.
Against Michigan?
Blowout.
Against Michigan?
Yes. Blowout. Oregon
down.
win.
Beat down.
Yeah, Oregon's going to.
Beat down.
Yeah.
All right.
Dylan Gabriel.
Texas
He's
Tech
good.
at number 11, Iowa State.
They play football in Iowa?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Iowa State, who almost got beat by UCF, that was a 20-point underdog 2 weeks ago.
Dude,
Texas Tech.
first off, if you care about that game, screw you. Like,
you still
This
got to
is
give us a
true.
pick.
give me Texas Tech.
I was going to say Texas Tech.
I know where
as well.
that is. Love it.
I was going to say Texas Tech as well.
Ames, Iowa. Y'all wrestle. Y'all are a wrestling school.
Next, we got Indiana going to Michigan State. Indiana 8-0. First
Oh, yeah,
head coach
Indiana.
from James
Dude.
Madison. They're
Was
good.
it like Coach Signetti or something like that?
Tom
Some of that?
Signetti, I think.
Who did Michigan State just play?
Google me.
Michigan played Michigan State last week, and Michigan won by, I think, 10.
Dude, Michigan State's trash, bro.
Yeah, it's Indiana. It's not even Indiana by far.
No, I'm a fan of Spartans, but they
I'm a
fired. What
Spartan
was his
guy,
name?
too.
Who was the
Mel
Georgia?
Tucker.
Yeah, they fired
Georgia
Mel
DC,
Tucker because he did those ludicrous activities that you can't be doing.
Yep.
Hey, shout out Le'Veon Bell, man.
Yep.
Give me the Indiana.
Oh, Le'Veon Bell went there.
Yeah.
I heard you shouting him out for the lewd activities.
No, I was saying because he went
Next,
there.
we got Kansas
Yeah.
State going to Houston. Kansas State. Easy.
I hate their quarterback, dude.
Avery Johnson.
He just looks so cool, and
He
it
looks
makes
like
me
a
so
dweeb.
mad, dude.
I'm gonna mix it up. I'm going Houston.
Okay.
What's your take?
Oh, I have to do Kansas State.
Yeah.
I'm going Houston. It's
Although
gonna be an
Kansas
upset.
State, you're a basketball school.
Is it at Houston?
It's at Houston.
Give me Houston.
All right, this is a game where I think the underdog is
Defense.
playing outright. It's
All right.
a crazy take. The team that's a favorite's coming off a huge win. This is a letdown game. South Carolina over Texas A&M. It's at South Carolina.
Oh, and South Carolina is that.
South Carolina's
Dude,
playing
they're the
good
pit bull
basketball.
right now, dude. They
Beamer
can.
ball is rolling.
Beamer ball is nasty. I feel bad for Beamer because he's a good coach and he hasn't exactly had that much success this year. But dude, he is a upset guy
And
waiting
his
to happen.
His quarterback looks like a geek.
Dude, he's so good.
Forrest Sellers.
Texas A&M.
Shane Beamer is the second most annoying football coach in Carolina, in South Carolina, right behind Dabo. I do not feel bad for Shane Beamer one bit for not being able to win football games that you probably should win. I'll be honest with you, Shane Beamer, you should have beat Bama if you would have coached your team a little better.
Should have won.
Yep, you should have.
Like
You
three
should have taught your
fumbles.
kids what to do in
Three
this
fumbles.
situation. You
Pitched
should have
away.
expected to be there, Shane Beamer, but
He did.
put that all to the side. I
Spotlight
do
got
think
too
that you got a
big.
shot. Texas A&M coming into town.
Letdown.
I don't know what an Aggie is. I think that's a dumb mascot. I know what a Gamecock is. Also a dumb mascot. Give me South Carolina.
Let's go.
Give me
Come on.
South Carolina by 6.
But who are you picking?
I'm taking South Carolina. I think
A&M,
they-
dude. Y'all are wild. Did y'all just watch that backup quarterback coming in and just dominate?
Yeah.
That kid's a freak.
He is.
He's about to murder
We'll
South
see
Carolina.
him wearing the red and silver next year at the University
What,
of Georgia.
that's Jesse's hope. Yeah, right. Sitting on the bench
All
watching
right, so
Gunnar
we got-
Stockton play.
We got
Gunner won't play.
Louisville going to number 11, Clemson.
Yeah, give me Clemson.
Clemson by double digits.
Yeah.
Clemson.
Although I hate Dabo.
Kentucky going to
Good guy.
Tennessee.
Dabo sucks. Who?
Kentucky's going to Tennessee.
Tennessee's going to beat the brakes off of them.
I think Nico's good, but I think Nico's overrated. Misses way too many easy throws. Tennessee wins. I don't think they cover the 7.
I'm going Kentucky, dude. I'm going Brock Vandagriff goes in
Yeah.
there and sets a statement.
Bro.
Wins. The defense is going to turn up. and freaking however you say his name is going to get annihilated.
Nico
Bro.
I'm not even trying,
Do you know who
Nico.
Kentucky played last week?
dude.
Hold on.
Who did they play?
Hold on. Don't look it up. Do you know who Kentucky played last week?
Yes.
They lost.
Oh God!
Don't say it.
Auburn.
Don't.
And Jarquez Hunter ran 300 yards.
Dude. Jarquez Hunter, though, Kirby Smart himself said that is probably the best back in the entire college football.
Yep.
That dude's a stud.
Right.
Okay.
And
Auburn,
I feel so bad for him that he goes to the University of Auburn where
I
they
do
have 3
too.
mascots.
I do too. But what's your point? He's a stud. And
That if Kentucky's losing to Auburn,
dude, yeah, but that's the point again, though.
But Kentucky
Kentucky-
almost beat Georgia.
Kentucky's a wild card. If they get up for the game, they're gonna be tough.
Yep.
no,
I'm going Kentucky. Going Kentucky.
All right,
No,
last top 25 game. It's a ranked matchup. Pittsburgh, number 18, goes to number 20 SMU. But Pittsburgh's 7-0, and they're an 8-point underdog.
Yeah, no, give me SMU all the way.
SMU wins. I think Pittsburgh covers.
Nah, dude, yeah, give me SMU all the way, dude.
I'm gonna agree exactly
Pony
what Brandon
Express,
said.
baby.
As a matter of fact, I think Pittsburgh might win.
Oh, you changing up? Are you? What is?
I'll take Pittsburgh to win it, but I think Pittsburgh covers the 8.
I'm going SMU.
Yeah.
I'm going
Give
SMU.
me SMU, bro.
I'm going
Have you
SMU.
seen their like red little
this
horse?
Is like college game day if everybody takes the same team.
Correct. That's why. Yeah, you got to mix it up.
You gotta change
Yeah,
it.
that's
All
why
right,
it mixed
so I'll
up.
take Pitt outright and plus the point.
Yeah. We'll evaluate and see how everybody did. But,
Now we got one more game to pick.
all right.
It's an NFL game, but it's our home team. The Cowboys are coming to town.
Ooh. Cowboys are coming to town, and Kirk Cousins is gonna ride them right out of
That's
the
what
city.
I'm saying, dude.
Give me the
Falcons.
freaking Dirty Birds.
Give me the Falcons, dude.
Dirty Birds.
Yes.
Darnell Mooney, Bijan Robinson, the man.
I just hope everybody has fun. Like,
Yeah, this is over.
All right.
yeah, I just hope that they're having a lot of fun, and I hope that everybody's healthy.
Well, okay, yeah, lame, but yeah, okay, Falcons are gonna win, and I hope Nick Chubb balls out for the Browns. But
I hope the
okay,
band's
well,
good.
I think that this was a fun first
Food
podcast.
in the stadium's real affordable.
Okay,
Real
this was
good for this
enjoyable.
economy.
This is enjoyable. This was a good, fun start.
Yeah, that's good.
We'll reevaluate, see how everything goes through this weekend for sports, and we'll look at kind of how our picks went, and we'll bring some more hot topics on the HotDawg Sports next week.
Yeah.
Stop being weird. Don't eat my microphone, dude. Don't be weird like that. Don't be
Weirdo.
weird, dude. Don't be weird.
Y'all
But,
seen that Orlando Bloom clip?
um,
Or it's not Orlando Bloom.
if this
I
will
don't
be
know his
up.
name.
This is supposed to be up on Spotify, Apple, I think Pandora, Pod Paradise. Shout out Tyler for helping us, and
YouTube.
it's going to be on YouTube. So in the comment section on YouTube, please drop some takes. Everybody watching, drop some takes.
Roast Jesse.
Say whatever you want to say.
Don't
Feel
roast
free.
me, dude. I'm real sensitive.
You can roast me, roast Brandon, roast
Don't
Jesse.
roast me. Say nice things about me.
Say nice things. Filter it for Jesse, but roast
You can
whoever.
roast all the rest of
Look,
them.
Or
dude,
don't roast.
one mean comment, and I'm never doing this again.
Don't.
And don't talk about my hands. I get it. I know. We all see it.
What's wrong with your hands?
What is he talking?
Yo, dude, stop acting like that.
All right.
What's wrong with your hands, dude? All right, but yeah, please drop some hot takes. Give us some opinions and ask questions. We would love to discuss things that we read and any advice given. So we appreciate it. This is a fun time. I look forward to next week, boys. Good stuff.
Yeah. No, this was definitely a thing.
Go Dogs. That was
Go
good.
Dogs.
Shut up. Go Dogs.
Mary, we're done.
Good job. That was fun.
Mary, stop yelling.
That was fun.
All right, I turned this off.